Jaju, please record this session also.
Yeah. I forgot to record. I am telling you again once again. So to avoid inter-symbol interference, we have added got period initially to that symbol. So even if the got period this is doesn't work in case of highly fading environment or delayed response, our signal will arrive after this got period. So to avoid that, we have a cyclic prefix introduced. It has two things like a short cyclic prefix, a long cyclic prefix. This is also to avoid this one, to avoid ISI. So we have a short cyclic prefix and long cyclic prefix. Long cyclic prefix. So for now, you can make a note of some of the points I will explain you what is short cyclic prefix, long cyclic prefix. But what is the advantage of this flexibility having short and long? So in God period, we have a fixed God period. We cannot control if a delayed response comes or fading environment. But in cyclic prefix, we can increase the cyclic prefix length. So even though the much more delay happened, we can recover our actual signal by increasing the cyclic prefix length. So in that case, we use long cyclic prefix. So I will show you some point. If note it down, if there is a low interference, low interference interference spelling is wrong. If there is low interference, we use, what should we use? Short cyclic prefix. Short cyclic prefix. And in short, if there is a high interference, we use long cyclic. Long cyclic, it is a cyclic, please make a note of prefix. So long cyclic prefix means simply we are extending the duration of this cyclic prefix. So in case of highly fading environment, when there is a huge interference, then also only long cyclic prefix part will be lost and actual signal will be recovered. And this one, short cyclic prefix, we use it especially used in urban areas. And this one used in rural areas. So in rural areas, there will be a limited tower, right? So in a big area, there will be one tower or two towers. So the multi-path fading chances will be more in rural areas. So to avoid that multi-path, we use this long cyclic prefix in rural areas. So it may be 1 to 2 kilometer, 1 to 2 kilometer area in urban areas. This may be we can say up to 5 kilometer. So one more point you can make a note of. In short cyclic prefix, one time slot can be accommodated with 7 symbols. What are these time slots? We will discuss in frame structure how it look like. In long cyclic prefix, one time slot can be accommodated with 6 symbols. So you might be wondering that long cyclic prefix having only 6 symbols, right? So this question interviewer they will ask. Recently one guy attended Qualcomm interview. They asked him why we are using 6 symbols only in long cyclic prefix and 7 symbols in short cyclic prefix. So the answer is that in long cyclic prefix we are adding cyclic prefix, the copied data path data, whatever the copy data is more, it can accommodate one more symbol. Suppose this is our subcarrier. It can have a 7 symbols, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 in case of short cyclic prefix, right? And
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
this signal, the end of the transmission signal, we are copying at the initial transmission. So the symbol duration will remain same in case of short cyclic prefix. So the symbol duration, whatever the duration of this symbol is there, we are adding to the initial symbol here. So there is no chance of increasing the length. I can say, but in case of I will tell you long cyclic prefix, what happens. Three, 4, 5, 6. It has a 6, but the copied, we are copying 2 parts, are these 2 symbols at the initial, in the beginning of the transmission, this one. So we have to accommodate, we have to reduce that one symbol, whatever we transmitting in the subcarrier, because a subcarrier is capable of transmitting maximum 7 symbols in one time slot. It is a defined rule via 3GPP specs, right? So we are copying two symbols in the initial part of the transmission. So we our actual signal will be 6 symbols only. Then I will show you. Please make a note of this. So simply when we are duplicating or copying the same data 2 times, we have to compromise with our actual data. One data will be less, one symbol will be less in a subcarrier. So that's
how should we give this answer regarding this? Why in long cyclic prefix? Why we are using 6 symbols? Like simply answer.
You can say that we are increasing the duration in long cyclic prefixes. Cyclic prefix length is more. I will tell you in have you noted down?
Yes, this noted down.
Okay, I will share you that one, how the cyclic prefix matters. Length is more. I will show you. So this is the same thing, whatever I explained. The first transmission, second transmission, third transmission delayed. Then also we are able to recover the data. So cyclic prefix. So since if you see this one, this is our symbol duration TS. So in
Okay.
case of short cyclic prefix, we have a cyclic prefix length of 4.7 microseconds. And in case of long cyclic prefix, see this one. This is our symbol duration. Suppose it may be something 16.7 microsecond. So here the length of the cyclic prefix, this one is the cyclic prefix, this one white color, this is cyclic prefix we are adding. So length we are increasing in long cyclic prefix.
Okay.
And here the in short cyclic prefix the length is 4.7 millisecond. In long cyclic prefix length is more, 16.7 milliseconds.
16.7.
So to we have increased the length of the cyclic prefix, we have to compromise with the OFDMA symbols. So that's why there will be 6 symbols only.
Okay.
And I told you that if to short cyclic prefix can be used for urban areas like towers with are in a range of 1.4 kilometer. This is the kilometer, 1.6 or 1.4 kilometer. And long cyclic prefix used in case of rural areas which are up to 5 kilometer range. No need to make a note of this all this. Just write short cyclic prefix has a length of 4.7 microsecond, and long cyclic prefix length is 16.7 microsecond. That's it. They will ask you the length only, nothing about this.
This is millisecond, right?
No, microsecond. It is microsecond.
Microseconds.
So in subcarrier spacing only 0.06 millisecond. How it can be 4.7 microsecond millisecond?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Then we have adjacent carrier interference. This also we have avoided. What it was in the older technology, the edge of the frequency of other like 5 megahertz in 3G. Suppose F0, F1, there were two sides using two different frequency. The edge will be having some adjacent carrier interference at the edge of the cell. So we have avoided these things by maintaining orthogonality of subcarriers. Since these subcarriers are orthogonal to each other, so we have maintained a distance while transmitting 0.06 millisecond duration. So it cannot interfere with another site. So we have avoided ACI by maintaining orthogonality in the subcarriers. Okay.
Yeah.
So last we have avoided ICI, intercarrier interference. It was also there in 2G and 3G, intercarrier interference. What is this? When you might have heard overshooting kind of thing in 3G, right?
Yes.
Let's read it. The price for the optimum subcarrier spacing is the sensitivity of the OFDMA to frequency errors. If the receiver's frequency slips some fraction from the subcarrier center frequencies, then the encounter not only interference but adjacent carrier in principle between all the carriers. This is known as the intercarrier interference. It means that if the receiver is not good or transmitter is not good, basically if the transmitter is not good or receiver is not good, anything it can be, if some frequency mismatch happen between transceiver to receiver, some little bit variation or deviation happens, Sorry. So we observe this kind of behavior, intercarrier interference, or we can say it as a leakage effect. To avoid that, so see the diagram. So this is F0, F1. So this is this F0 frequency shifted slightly. Some deviation happened. Due to this deviation, it is not giving the maximum power at the receiver. So some receivers will have some FFT. I showed you the FFT window, receiver window. In that window only, it will adjust the power of that subcarrier, and it will receive, decode as a 0 or 1 symbols. So if the deviation happens between F0 and F1, F2, F1 and F2, there will be a loss of power, some deviation. Due to this, carrier interference appears. This is also avoided by orthogonality feature only. So now we have understood what is intersymbol interference, how we have avoided by adding a guard period and cyclic prefix. We have understood ASCI, adjacent carrier interference, how we avoided by maintaining the orthogonality between subcarriers. And ICIC also same reason, orthogonality between the subcarriers. It's a very big topic of OFDMA and SCFDMA. We have to cover in next class also. Tomorrow also will be same OFDMA and SCFDMA. Okay, please let me know if you have any doubt. We'll discuss tomorrow this part. Main
These
key.
questions, these questions will be asked. Can you go upside? How we avoid? How we can avoid the AS like?
No, actually they will ask you what are the advantages of OFDMA. Then you have to tell these things. So we can avoid ISI, ACI, and intercarrier interference. And there are they will ask you what is cyclic prefix and short cyclic prefix, long cyclic prefix. So you can tell that one whatever I showed you.
Okay.
And why there is a 6 symbols only in long cyclic prefix? Why not 7 symbols? So they will ask you. So you know the answer also. And what is the duration of short cyclic prefix length and long cyclic prefix length? These are the mainly questions. So short cyclic prefix we use in urban areas and long cyclic prefix we use in rural areas. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so OFDMA has a multiple features. We will discuss in next class. After that, we will go for SCFDMA. So this is the key parameters of OFDMA. So what are these? In detail, we will discuss tomorrow. Any questions? No questions.
Just by there is any book, something like that on the website for only interview questions.
Only interview questions.
Means, yeah, you are telling right. Finally, you see, example today, what will my council going to complete tomorrow. So in that, we will check the questions and either we will cross check whether we are able to answer the questions or not. If you have doubt any,
No, there is a no any particular book for interview questions in LTE.
Okay.
So every
Yeah,
topic,
say,
when you study every topic, you have to study clearly.
yeah. I'm not asking book. Just what say there are any questions. If there is any questions you have.
Questions,
Interview or
there are many questions answers available in the YouTube. I will share you the videos.
yeah,
Link
yeah.
I will share.
If there is any yes, yes. Please.
Yeah.
We
Whatever.
our target is the main that only, right? To guide them so that
No,
now
that's why
itself onwards.
that's why I'm selecting. I have selected topics which is asked in interviews. So I'm not teaching any extra IP layer, TCP, UDP, those things. They will not consider those
Okay.
things. IMS, SIP registration, what is SIP protocol, those things I will not discuss. I will tell the actual thing. What is Volticall? How SIP is used utilized.
In interview, they will not ask those questions
Hmm.
anymore. I am listening.
So whatever the topics I am teaching, so it is mainly they will ask in interviews.
Okay.
So whatever I teach, you should go in depth, in detail of each and everything.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay, see you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah.